Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Purging Cairo's Christians. Dozens of Coptic Christians have been massacred in Egypt as peaceful demonstrators carrying wooden crosses in Cairo were attacked and slaughtered by thugs and government forces. The Assyrian International News Agency reported yesterday 35 protesters are confirmed dead and over 300 injured. But these numbers are expected to grow as there are still many unidentified bodies. Coptic priests and eyewitness of the events, Father Philip Tier Gamil, says he saw army police and affiliated thugs torching police cars to frame the Coptic crowd for starting the disturbance before the army ambushed them, opening fire and driving their vehicles into the crowd. The protest was in response to the recent burning of a local church. Ironclad argument. Arguments over religion can apparently become hazardous in Wisconsin if you're talking about Islam. A 47-year-old man was beaten with a tire iron in front of two witnesses who say the aggressor pulled up to the victim, accused him of insulting his Muslim faith, and then beat him with the iron and punched him in the head before driving off. Police have leads on the suspect but have not yet made any arrests, and the injured man has been hospitalized, while the police have yet to release any names in the case. One of the witnesses says, quote, "It is unusual when an argument ends with the use of a tire iron, but it's not unheard of." Society without Christ. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll are back as the Wall Street protests spiral down into anarchy. The Daily Mail reports more than 400 young people descended on the tent city set up as protest headquarters in Zuccotti Park in the Big Apple's financial district last week, deteriorating the protest movement into an urban rave. Packages of condoms litter the ground as the stench of marijuana and sewage fills the air, while teens and young adults lay around with each other using only sleeping bags to cover their modesty, and the media is calling the site reminiscent of Woodstock. Labeled by the right-wing media as a mob without a declared purpose, the movement is currently in almost 30 of America's major cities, spreading to more with each passing day. You can see pictures of the camp in New York City and read the article on our resource page by clicking on the link right outside the screen. But we must warn you that some of the pictures are of a graphic nature not suitable for children. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Making the list. With Republican candidates courting voters for support in the party's race for a presidential nominee, two groups have come together to try to help voters know exactly what it is that they're getting. The Susan B. Anthony List and the National Organization for Marriage have released a scorecard showing the top 7 candidates in the race and what their stances are on marriage and life issues, based, of course, on the pledges that each group sends to candidates for a signature. Of the top 10 candidates, Michelle Bachmann, Rick Santorum, and Rick Perry are the only ones who have wholly committed themselves to the complete protection of life and true marriage, although media sources say that Rick Perry is a supporter of embryonic stem cell research. Ron Paul, staunchly pro-life, though he refuses to support a constitutional amendment protecting true marriage, won the straw poll this past weekend at the Values Voter Summit in Washington, D.C., where the scorecard was first released, winning 37% of the voters that participated. Coming home to Catholicism. The Catholic Church is celebrating the conversion of almost 60 new Catholics in Washington, D.C., as St. Luke's Episcopal Parish in Maryland is being brought back into the fold. Cardinal Donald Wuerl, tasked by Benedict XVI to create an ordinariate in the United States for converting Anglicans, administered sacraments to the 58 members of the parish community and its pastor, Reverend Mark Lewis, at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception on Sunday. St. Luke's is the first Episcopal church in America to convert under the new rules established by the Vatican, and it will remain in the care of the Archdiocese of Washington until the full establishment of the Ordinariate in the United States. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure to check out The Vortex today, where Michael talks about how not all evil is the same. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.